Hey everyone, I hope you're all having an amazing day. It is now October 5th of 2021. We are getting closer to the release of the Book of Boba Fett, as well as the Kenobi TV series, which by the way is now slated for a May of 2022 release. A lot of things are beginning to brew for the franchise. A lot of fans are getting very excited for what's to come for 2022. Technically, we have 5 TV shows in 2022 because the Book of Boba Fett is going to pretty much carry over into next year. So with that being said, guys, on top of all of this, this is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. And by the way, guys, I am on Twitter at Mike01 if you guys want to go ahead and give me a follow on there. I do post a couple of fun and entertaining things from time to time and interact with you guys further. So, what's all the more exciting has everything to do with Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. Now, they are working on shows like The Mandalorian Season 3, and of course The Bad Batch Season 2, which by the way is still being worked on. They are trying to push that for a summer of 2022 release. And of course, that's only the beginning of animated TV shows that are currently in the works. We're going to be learning more about new animated shows at Star Wars Celebration next year, so keep your eyes open for that. However, what's all the more intriguing has everything to do with Daisy Ridley and what she had to say about Kathleen Kennedy, and something very exciting to do with George Lucas making a cameo in a new Star Wars TV series that we're going to get into in this post. So, we all know that the sequel trilogy, was pretty much a divisive storytelling way for the Star Wars fandom, right? A lot of fans felt very different toward the overall structure of the sequel trilogy. There's a lot of fans that support it, but not all that much as we think there are. But there's also a lot of fans that really dislike the sequel trilogy. Even Marsha Lucas talked about this, George Lucas's ex-wife, of how she disliked the sequel trilogy movies thoroughly. Through episodes 7 to 9, she did not like that. And it really does tell us a lot if George Lucas's ex-wife, who had a great involvement in the original trilogy, actually had that to say about the sequels. So, beyond all of this, what Daisy Ridley had to say, alright, now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are developing shows like Mando Season 3 and even the Book of Boba Fett, fans are very much looking forward to the Kenobi series, which is set to bring a return of actor Hayden Christensen in the mix. However, recently many changes have been happening behind the scenes over at Lucasfilm for quite some time, ever since Jon and Dave got promotions to take more creative power over Star Wars. However, in a recent interview with actress Daisy Ridley, she was questioned about her time on the sets of the sequel trilogy movies. Daisy went on to say that there were many times where it was very frustrating for me as an actress to be working with Kathleen Kennedy, as she would be constantly changing the story of the film, as far as I could remember when I had my conversations with Colin Trevorrow. He actually wanted to do special things for Luke Skywalker. I mean, great things that may be well too long for me to explain right now, but all of his ideas that he had for Luke were just completely ignored by Kathleen Kennedy. I never really understood that. It always made me so confused as to why you would want to ignore such an iconic character in the Star Wars world, Daisy Ridley went on to say that what also bothered me was how myself and Adam Driver, who really put all our time and effort into some of the scenes that we would rehearse for, and then out of the blue, those scenes would have been magically cancelled from the scenes planned to be filmed for episode 9 at the time. This caused quite a bit of a setback for Lucasfilm to promote the movie. I even remember that they tried to put out a trailer for holiday of 2018, but we had to cancel that sadly and waited until Celebration of 2019, all from the changes because of Kathleen Kennedy. Now, additionally separate from all of this, and what Daisy Ridley actually had to say about Kathleen Kennedy, some exciting developments are beginning to brew. The TV series Star Wars Underworld, which is being revived, is moving along smoothly in the early development phase, and that creator George Lucas will serve as a co-writer of the series, and that Favreau is even planning for Lucas to have a major cameo in Star Wars as a character that's actually going to make a big return, the same exact character that he once was in Episode 3 briefly, on the world of Coruscant. George Lucas is set to return for the role as Chairman Papanoida, that is going to play a decent role in Star Wars Underworld, that is planned to drop on Disney Plus by sometime in 2024. Now, for fans that don't know, Lucas actually played as this character, as Anakin Skywalker, of course, as he was heading in to talk to Palpatine. So that entire scene as Anakin Skywalker is running in to talk to Palpatine, where Palpatine eventually, unveils the story about Plagueis. Right before all of that happens, as Anakin runs in, there is a moment in which George Lucas plays Chairman Papanoida, and you do see him for a split second. That same character is set to return, played by Lucas in a different and unexpected way that will unveil new secrets about Order 66 and new revelations about Palpatine that will be explored in the show. Now, creator Jon Favreau is said to be the one who pushed for this idea to happen, and Lucas is excited to play a big cameo in Star Wars Underworld for the Star Wars series that's set to drop in a couple of years from now. So, back to Kathleen Kennedy, alright? Daisy Ridley is becoming more and more talkative about her experience on the set of Star Wars. Why? Well, I think it all has to do with the fact that she's no longer involved with Star Wars. You see this a lot. You see this with people in Hollywood like Sam Raimi, who is now talking more and more about why he hates Spider-Man 3 so much. At the time, back in 2007 and, in 2008, 9, 10, Sam Raimi didn't really talk all that much about Spider-Man 3. It wasn't until years upon years later where he was really no longer involved at all with Spider-Man 4, and that was a thing of the past. He began to talk more and more about 3. And it's kind of the same scenario here with Daisy Ridley. She's becoming more talkative about Kathleen Kennedy and her experience over at Lucasfilm. I believe ever since Marsha Lucas pretty much talked about her 2 cents on the sequel trilogy, now you have more and more actors and actresses talking about their experience on the set of Lucasfilm's leadership of the sequel trilogy as a whole, and why it just did not work for them. So, obviously Daisy Ridley knows best. She knows that she had to work on a lot of scenes, and she had to pour a lot of her time and effort into those shows. And it really kind of frustrated her. It did. For multiple reasons. I mean, imagine being an actress, pouring all of your time and effort into these shows, only for them to be cancelled, only for them to be put to the wayside. Now, on top of this, guys, I will say I am very much excited for George Lucas making a cameo in Star Wars Underworld. It does make a lot of sense because Underworld is going to primarily take place on the world of Coruscant. So, Chairman Papanoida, he's been in the Clone Wars, he's been in Episode 3 by George Lucas. You guys can go ahead and check him out. It is going to be quite something. Jon Favreau is going to be leading with this project. They are actually planning to begin filming in 2023, setting things up for a 24 release. So, I cannot wait to see exactly what the future holds, on top of all of this. So, yeah, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.